C2 is going to have a volume too.
It might well. It might well. We don't know.
We don't know.
All right. So we are
Oh,
actually
grandma.
going to start with Lucius.
Yes.
So Lucius, as you are abandoned by Aram shortly outside the town of Lufthaven, and as you are running through the city streets looking for anyone who you traveled with, you were stopped outside the entrance of the Cog District and not allowed to progress any further. Where do you think that Lucius might go?
I think you try and like, because I don't know that they're in danger, but I know Aram got taken away basically, so maybe some higher authority like the police, local police maybe,
Okay, you're looking for a police station.
something I can say I'm trying to like get my friends I can't cross or like some way to help me get across this gap somehow maybe.
All right, yeah. So there are two entrances into the Cog District. One of them is the western entrance, and the other one is the southern entrance. It's sort of built on the northeast side of the town of Lufthaven, and there are two entrances which come down to the western and the southern side. The western side is the one that's currently shut down with the labor strike, so you start booking it around to the southern gate. And this one too is a little bit less blocked off, but still notably at an impasse. But as you start talking through your situation, go ahead and make me a charisma check of your choice. You can make persuasion, intimidation, deception, whatever you think you would use.
Um, oh shit, okay. That's 23 on
23,
persuasion.
persuasion. So you approach the guy here in charge of the battlement, and you see it's much like the other one where there are some automated forces here. There's actually kind of a new thing that I don't think that Lucius has ever seen before or even heard about. There's a person here who is in an augmented suit of armor that makes him about 10-ish feet tall, really wide and bulky, and he's essentially powering what is a power suit. But Lucius would just see this enormous metal man. So I assume you think it to be some kind of arcane construct or holdover from the pre-calamity age. And as you start talking with these people, explaining your situations, you are brought through with an escort to the police station. And I would like Lucius to make me a dexterity saving throw, if you'd be so kind.
Oh no. Oh, and it's really bad.
He got escorted to the police station, you said?
That is correct.
Thank you.
13.
A 13. They take you a back way, cut through an alleyway, and you hear as bolts shoot from across what is a low hanging fence, like a low kind of fence into somebody's backyard. Two people stand up with crossbows and shoot down two of the other guards, and the guy in the big power suit takes his arm and pins you up against the wall. And the chassis opens, and you see a person standing in there who has blue handprints all over his body and
Oh
face.
man.
He sort of tucks open his shirt to see a big cursive F drawn sort of right here at the crike, um, and says, "Hey, good to see you again, Grandpa."
You again.
Thunk, and pops you right in the head with the other mechanized fist. I'm actually going to roll to hit. Um, Unfortunately, that is a natural 20. Uh, so this is really going to hurt.
Oh, Jesus.
He just punched me in the face.
7 and 12 for
Oh
19
my
plus.
gosh.
You take 26 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm down.
You're dropped to 0. This fist slams you against the wall, and it's lights out. Okay? We're going to cut back to
We're gonna
all.
end tonight's session.
We're going to cut to all three of you. I would like. Let's see. How do I want to do this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Well, since Mom is leaving, apparently.
No, I'm right here, Josh. I'm just handing something to your dad. I'm hearing it.
All right, we're gonna start with Obscura and into
Yeah.
Lucius.
Same.
Obscura, Lucius, and Chrysanthemum. At this moment, all three of you are unconscious. So, is there a moment from Obscura's past or history that he would find that he would want to share?
A moment from my history that I would. Um. Yeah. Is this gonna be like a visual, like I explain kind of what you're seeing?
Yes.
Sure. Um. So. You'd see kind of a. Not much older than like a young man boy, kind of wandering fields, covered in scars, kind of dragging his feet, aimlessly wandering. Um, and honestly, I think that's about it. Just a man wandering in open plains with no rhyme or reason. It's going about.
Obscura, at this moment in your life, do you have your mask?
I don't.
Would you describe what you look like?
Absolutely. I need to pull up some information that I haven't looked at. Very sorry.
That's okay. Didn't mean to take you by surprise.
Yeah, I know you're all good. Yeah, so it's a normal height man, 5'11", 6 foot. Jet black hair at this point, quite long, probably kind of down to his shoulders, kind of straight, unkempt, dirty. Features are gonna be kind of sharp, kind of like cheekbones. He's clearly malnourished. I not a lot more. Ragged, blood-soaked, terrible clothes. Like nothing very great about his appearance. You wouldn't. Yeah, that's about it.
Chrysanthemum and Lucius, you see this vision as passers-by, as invisible specters who are capable of perceiving what's happening here, but not able to directly interact with the world quite yet. Obscura, you are dragging behind you a lute that has been soaked in blood, and the back end of it has been bashed into someone's head repeatedly until it no longer resembles an instrument and in fact resembles a weapon. And you are dragging it behind yourself, and you feel an ache in your ribs. Whatever scuffle you had been in with the highwaymen who had tried to run you off the road just a couple miles back, they almost killed you. And though you'd pulled the bolt out of your side, you still are having a hard time breathing. And every breath is a sharp pain as your intercostal muscles are lit aflame. The sun is setting, and you're not sure if you're going to make it through the night, when you hear a very boisterous laugh from just down the road to the right-hand side, where there is a forest clearing shortly on the border between Galeagroth and Vrent. You are in the green. And here in this gorgeous forest, though you have nothing and are nowhere, you see a group of people sitting around a campfire who are playing instruments, drinking heavily, and laughing amongst themselves. The leader of this kind of merry band is a very, very large Goliath man, about probably 9 feet tall, extremely muscular. He's wearing clown makeup, and it looks like it's sort of run down the side of his face. He's wearing a white tank top with suspenders and black slacks, and there is a big old hammer that's sitting next to him as he's leading this kind of very sloppy drinking song. And these people are probably about a quarter mile off. They haven't made you yet.
Um, yeah, I'm at the exact same rate, like where I was aimlessly wandering before. I'm going to stumble and drag my feet towards the camp, straight up, like beeline towards it.
Okay, not even breaking stride, moving no faster than your standard hobble. You limp closer into the camp, and there is a person on the back of a wagon who is offloading what looks to be fireworks. They have these big crates of fireworks that they are offloading. One person is kind of taking them as 5 or 6 people in the actual camp proper are singing and enjoying this night of revelry. It looks like 8 total. Um, One of them kind of sees you, ducks down behind the thing, and you hear a loud whistle. As he whistles for other people, everyone kind of stops and turns, and I assume they see you. I don't think you're trying to hide.
Right.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
there's a woman who comes out first, who is this. Excuse me while I pull this up. I want to make sure I'm absolutely crystal correct here. Yes, there is a dark elf who comes out here, who is wearing this extremely loud, ostentatious black dress that's cut at a cross length, huge, voluminous blue hair wig, um, and she has a big staff that she has kind of like monkeyed over, and she kind of saunters out wearing heels, which are extremely impractical for how far out in the sticks they are. Um,
What did you say? Allowed her like the print of her dress, or
she is
she was
wearing
wearing
her
a
wig. She has a huge,
oh.
loud blue, powder blue wig. Is wearing a black dress
And I'm
otherwise.
sorry to interrupt, but hello everyone. I hope you guys are having a great night.
Love you, Dad. Um,
Love you, Dad. He said.
but at any rate, this woman sort of is taking the charge, leans on her staff, and kind of looks at you. Hello.
um, I'll shamble kind of towards her and like fall on the staff that she's holding on, and kind of like, referring to the punctured like rib cage or lung, like getting hit by the bolt. I'll just say, kind of like a jesting, like, pardon me, but please just allow me to catch my breath.
As you fall towards her, trying to grab the staff, she takes a couple steps back and keeps the staff between you. And goes, "Whoa, whoa! Don't touch the merchandise." Okay, so you've been in a scuffle or two. What happened there?
I I met a band of fools who were not as I'll say amicable as they needed to be.
I'm very sorry for your luck. Well, as it happens, you won't find a merrier band of fools this side of Milva Nora than we. And she points to the camp proper, and as you kind of turn your head on the ground, you see a bunch of the other people, including that big Goliath, kind of ambling up looking at you. They are halfway between what looks to be cutthroats and carnies. Um, some of them look to be like barkers. There's one person there who's wearing like a candy striped printed shirt, not wearing a weapon, so you assume he's a sorcerer of some kind of just keeping back away from the rest. You see that big Goliath with the hammer over his shoulder. One guy there has a couple of knives that he's throwing up and catching, getting ready to chuck one at you if you make a move that they don't like. But it looks to be as if this drow woman and the Goliath are kind of running the show here. Um, the uh, the drow woman gets down to her staff and sort of um, crouches down to meet you at eye level and says, "Now, very important question for you, and I need you to be honest to me, young man. If I let you spend the night with us, are we going to wake up to find a knife at our throats?"
Yeah.
I'll say, Madam, I don't even think I have a knife to hold at your throat.
Well, you seem to make do with that loot over there, didn't you? There's a chuckle of. There's this little spattering of laughter from other people.
I'll respond. I just got lucky here. I'm a lot better at playing it than I am using it as a
Well,
weapon. Yeah.
well, if that's true, then you must be quite the musician then. My name's Vanta Blue. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Right. I'll shake her hand. Um, kind of like weak at the knees. Like honestly, I'll fall at this point.
Yeah, I imagined you were on the ground the whole time she's been talking to you.
Oh yeah. Like I'm barely like here.
Chick, do me a favor. Pick this delightful young man up and let's see if we can't nurse his wounds. She'll pick up her staff, and as she taps it on the ground, you see the ground start to quake, and a couple of skeletal hands come out, and couple of, like a bunch of skeletons assemble themselves into like this merry little, um, oh god, what is the art of doing comedy without talking?
Mime.
Not miming. There's a pantomime. That's what it is.
Yeah.
These sort of
Pantomime.
pantomiming skeletons start jovially going over, and one of them flips out a tablecloth from nothing, sets it down on the ground, and they lay you down and start ripping your clothes off and tending to your wounds. And through that night, you meet, for the first time in your life, a band of grinners. These are people that have saved you. And though later in your life you would come to go through no shortage of trial and tribulation, you will always hold in your heart a very soft spot for Vanta Blue and for Chick Chucklesby, who are the people who saved you. Um, as they sort of patch up your injuries and let you enjoy some of their rations, which are, not great, but they make do with what they have. It really is more the company that's helping this along. Do you tell them anything of where you've been?
Do I tell them of anything where I've been?
Mm-hmm.
The most that I will decide to give them is that I was a captive and that I have latent magical power. Because they've obviously shown their hand, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll feel comfortable to share with them that maybe not necessarily the circumstances in which it awakened, but more so that like I am magic, and that'll be the most that I share with them.
As you sort of outline that you were captured, you see Chick, who is very sympathetic to that, go, nobody belongs in a cage, son, I'll tell you that. And as you sort of outline that you have been given or gifted or just have these latent magical abilities, there is an enormous uproar, one you hardly expected, as everyone goes, "Way! Oh my god, fucking finally!" And a bunch of people are just really happy that look at the odds. And they bring to you drinks, and they ply you with liquor, and they even offer you some more risque favors, and a bunch of people just take in a new person in their flock, and it's not very long before they're packing up their stuff from this camp and moving on to the next. And Vanta offers you, laying on her staff, she goes, "So, we're packing up away from Galea Groth, and we're going to head somewhere north. We think to Cape Sutton or something along that kind. Bunch of adventures around there, lots of coin to spend. Now, I'm not sure if you have enjoyed your time with us, but I think it would be a waste if you didn't come with."
And I'd be inclined to agree with you, madam.
Wonderful, then. We'll buy you a new loot in town. Come with us. And she will sit down in a chair, and a bunch of skeletons will pick up the legs of her chair and carry her alongside the carriage as Chick Chucklesby whips these horses and gets them going. And
Awesome.
what does Obscura feel as he walks alongside this carriage beside the first found family he ever had.
Yeah, for the first time in a long time, he'll feel a sense of purpose. Maybe not belonging yet. He's clearly been treated very well, but that a sense of purpose, like a seed's been planted that he wouldn't mind, nurturing and letting it grow.
For the first time, like a chord struck that finds its resonance in a space, you feel as if something within you has finally been completed. That in a space of eternal ephemeral darkness, there might finally be a light at the end. Okay, we're going to move on from Obscura. Lucius, a similar question to you. Is there a time or a memory or a feeling that you would like to share with the two other people who join you in this space?
Uh, I'll share a memory from back when Lucius was early on in his knighthood training with the Brotherhood of Scales back in ancient Draconia.
Okay.
A little outside the main keep in a field.
We see from beyond an enormous kingdom in the sky. The clouds are below us, the sun above. We are so high up we can almost see the curvature of the earth from where the clouds part below. We are flying over the city of Draconia on the back of an enormous wyvern. Wyverns are lesser dragons, whereas dragons have 4 legs and 2 wings. Wyverns have 2 legs, and where their arms would be are instead wings. So they're considered a lesser kind of draconoid, not true dragons, but still incredibly powerful. Um, we see a very young, very handsome, probably like mid-20s Lucius. Lucius, how different do you look now to then?
Less like, shorter horns, no beard, and his face is less kind of like, as his age has gotten more jagged and rough as the scales kind of continue to grow. His face is a lot more smooth. The scales kind of flow nicely into one another. They're not as rough.
Very sleek. And as the sunlight hits the scales, I imagine we see them reflecting quite a bit as opposed to their modern day tarnish, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as you are holding the reins, you feel arms around your middle from the person behind you, who would eventually become your court advisor, Nexanumus. Over the whipping of the wind, you hear this pretty young white dragonoid whisper, or sort of has to yell into your ear and goes, I hate it up here. The wind, I feel like I'm going to fall off. Can you please park this? Can you land this thing? No? Nothing?
Technical difficulties. I just lost audio.
Oh, do you want me to repeat that?
Please, I'm hoping it just did a second time, so I'm hoping it doesn't do it again.
All right, well, if you do take a second to fix it, let me know. But you feel hands around your middle as Nexanumus, the lady who would become your court advisor, who is also a knight in training. She is a very young, a little bit younger than you, very pretty, white dragonborn. She has long white hair that at this moment is tied up in this little top knot. She has these piercing blue eyes. And a couple of scars, like a little bit more damage than I think Lucius. She has a big scar over her nose, her snout. She has a mark across her throat that looks almost like a rope burn, and a couple of blackened tarnishes over her white scales where she has been burned, trying to learn how to ride a dragon, and she has not learned it as well as you. Um, and she is holding you by the middle from sitting behind you, and is obviously quite petrified, and is yelling in your ear over the wind and going, "I hate these things. Can you touch this thing down somewhere in the field over there? Can you land this thing?"
Oh, enjoy the moment, Nexanumus.
You're
Where's the
gonna
fun in landing?
you're gonna enjoy my foot up your ass in a minute if you don't land this fucking thing.
All right. Fine. No fun.
You
I land the dragon.
you touch down this enormous black wyvern in one of the outer fields. Every island here is probably, I mean, the biggest one is probably 12 miles across. Some of these smaller ones are probably only a mile or a mile and a half. So you park in one of the smaller outcropping islands that is connected with a big rope bridge to the center. Um, and a lot of these outer islands are used for agriculture. They're planted, they were wheat or tobacco or whatever was grown there at the time. And as you bring this dragon down, Nexonumus scampers off. All four sort of four-wheel driving in the dirt as she is dry heaving, trying not to throw up. I hate these dragons. Oh God, why did we have to build our kingdom in the fucking sky? Oh, this is horrible.
It's where people are meant to be, Nexonumus, and be free.
Fuck
You have to
being,
go.
fuck
You
being
have to learn
free.
it someday.
Fuck being free. I'd rather live underground in a fucking cave. At least then I don't have to worry about falling off and falling forever. This fucking blows. And you pick Nexonumus up, and the two of you are walking back to the central garrison where the Brotherhood of Scales is meeting. And there, at the very top of the tallest building in the central island of Draconia, there is a very, very large golden dragon, a true golden dragon, that has wrapped itself around the spire and is sort of nesting over the top of it, asleep. This is the golden idol, the first flame, Aurorion. He is an enormous golden dragon that aligned himself with Draconia a thousand years prior to the present day, aligned himself with Draconia and said, "This is to be our greatest achievement as dragonkind," and brought together both chromatic and metallic dragons, which was something that no dragon has been able to do before or since. Sorry, you're muted.
I'm muted.
Mom is muted.
Is this a real dragon
This
on
is
the spire, or
Aurorion is a true dragon, correct?
okay?
He is a very long dragon, granted. He is more along the lines of an Eastern design, where it's an extremely long dragon that has a lot of legs. But he is, in fact, a true dragon. Not
Does he have
like
wings, or does he just like?
He has wings. He has several.
Okay.
He has several pairs of wings.
Okay.
But is more worm-like than other dragons would be, than a typical sort of Western design or European dragon. Not Smaug, but like Long from The Last Wish or whatever it was.
Chinese parade dragon.
Exactly, very very Eastern dragon. So Aurorion is, as always, got his hands nested at the very top of the spire and is asleep. He sleeps for probably 16, 20 hours a day. And as you are walking through town, I think Lucius might be a bit taken by the vision of Aurorion. The sun might just catch it just right and gleam off his golden scales. And Nexonumus stops and goes, "Oh, sleepy bastard.
Oh, hush.
Don't
Is he like a?
don't hush me. Don't hush me. He's always fucking sleeping. He was supposed to be, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, and he's fucking sleeps all the time. What are we supposed to do about that?"
I mean, when the time comes, he'll protect us, and we have to believe in that.
The only thing he's protecting right now is his beauty sleep, alright? His alarm clock. That's what he's protecting. God forbid something come to try and bring us out of the fucking island in the sky. What is he gonna... He's gonna sleep right through it.
I'm gonna scoff at Nexonumus. Just.
You scoff and walk away, and she goes, "What? You know I'm right," and strafes after you. You head into the garrison of the Brotherhood of Scales. There is an enormous sigil above the door, which is a shield, and upon which is a sort of like a bear paw would be emblazoned, is a dragon claw instead. So sort of the outline of a dragon's footprint on the back of this shield. And as you walk in, there are a couple of the garrison members who are minding their business, sharpening things, but you see that you are actually graced by the presence of the current Shimmering Lord, who is Talmbot Tersevere. He is a rather large green dragonborn, with this big white cape, and he's wearing the signature golden armor of the Shimmering Lord. And he is sitting at the head of the table. He has a long white beard, and you see the lines under his eyes have gotten deeper in the last few months, and there is a quiet conversation amongst them as they speak. And as you sort of walk in, the conversation is hushed, and he nods at you. Lucius,
Sir?
how fare you today, knight?
Very good, sir.
Did you enjoy your time in the sky?
It was very good.
If you would ever like to take Gricklow for a ride again, you need only ask me or my son. As I said, he is yours to ride if you so please. He's very persnickety with others, and he seems to get along fine with you, so if you would like to ride him, you certainly may.
Thank you, sir.
You are very welcome, son. Um, if I may, and he turns to the other people at the table, takes his cane from the table and stands up very slowly and shakily and says, I would like a moment alone with Knight Vinsmoke, if I may. And they say, uh, very well, my liege. You may use one of the adjoining rooms, if you please. Very well, that will be fine. Knight Vinsmoke, if you would accompany me, please.
Yes, sir.
Nexanumus trails behind you as your page, but is stopped by the Lord and says, just the night, if you please. I will have time to speak with you in the coming days, but for now, just him. And she goes, very well, yes. He takes you into the room, sits down, and is very creaky, and says, your parents were commoners, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Your father, what did he do for work? Was he a tradesman of any kind?
You worked on our field, sir.
A farmer. And your mother, any trade to speak of?
No, sir.
Well, indeed. As I see it, Knight Vinsmoke, we are at war, though we do not know it yet. The kingdoms below, and he taps his cane on the ground, they seek to take us out of the sky. All of us know this. But I think the true call to war comes within our house. Do you understand?
I'm not sure I do.
There is an insurrectionist in our midst. Someone who would see the Brotherhood of Scales turned against the Crown. I come to you because you are young, but a knight of great renown already, and impressionable. I ask that you find this insurrectionist and bring him to me. You do this, I will see that you are justly rewarded in time.
Yes, sir.
Very well. Oh, my old bones. Stands and hobbles out, and as he gets close to the door, puts a hand on your shoulder and says, I knew your mother. She was a kind woman. You look much like her. And then he leaves. Does Lucius take that task to heart?
Yes.
I think in a few weeks, you find the insurrectionist. You see a young, I would say red dragonborn, speaking with others in a very hushed tone, and you find her in one of the adjoining rooms discussing, though she didn't know you were standing there, an open rebellion. And it's not a short time after you bring her to the king that she is executed. And a short time after that, a letter comes to you in the mail naming you the next Shimmering Lord. You are tasked to keep this message secret until the day of the current Shimmering Lord's death. And as Lord Talbot breathes his last, you are brought to the throne room with your missive in hand. You stand before his open casket with Nexonumus at your side and his two children standing there, and you must stake your claim. How does Lucius do so?
So I'm just trying to get an idea of like what you're like expecting. Am I like gonna like just say I claim this, or like am I have to like fight them, or
It depends on how Lucius would deal with this. It has been previously expected that the sons of the Shimmering Lord, which is Talbot, the son of Talbot, would take up the throne, unless the Shimmering Lord were to decide otherwise and name somebody else. That is how the title is passed on.
ooh. So I have this letter that says I'd be the Shimmering Lord, and I was meant to keep it hidden.
Correct. He
So
asked you to keep his letter hidden until this precise moment.
so then I would, in front of everybody, take it out
You have the
and
scissors out there? Can I have them, please?
and say like I'm trying to remember his name. Unfortunately, I just forgot his name.
Talbot Talbreeze.
Okay.
And I'll just say Talbot has named me the new Shimmering Lord, and hold the paper or whatever up in the air in front of everybody to see.
Nexonumus, who has traveled with you for a great many years now and is now a minor knight of her own right, sort of her eyes go wide at that, and if a white dragonborn could blanch, she would. Um, she takes it from you and reads out the missive in its entirety, and you see that there is a very elderly golden dragonborn here who is said to be a descendant of Rorion himself, who is stroking his very long gray beard and looks over the missive himself and says, "Oh, yes, everything seems to be in order. This is indeed the sigil of the late Lord Talbot. And you say he asks you to keep this missive secret.
Until this moment, sir, yes.
How very curious indeed. You were the one who brought us the insurrectionist's head a few months prior, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, all seems to be in order. Well, I'm very sorry, gentlemen, and he turns to Talbot's two sons, who are furious and glaring daggers into you, and says, "But according to this missive, Lucius Vinsmoke is to be crowned the next Shimmering Lord." And there is a long, protracted moment of silence. A few days later, you are coronated, and you are sworn in as the Shimmering Lord of Draconia. Aurorion has entered the chamber room and now takes up the entire space of where your throne once laid. An enormous golden serpent that is tangled over itself into a huge heap, and from the very bottom, his head, his snout, breathes out a little plume of smoke. As you approach, lay your hand upon him and swear yourself to the nation of Draconia forever. What goes through Lucius's mind and heart as he makes this solemn vow?
I was given this responsibility by a dear mentor, and God, I can't mess this up.
I can't mess this up. And true. So far, you did a pretty bang up job. We go now to Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum, what moment
Here,
would you like to
present.
share?
Oh, jeez. Um, Probably the moment that she decided the way to preserve the good was to become a marshal of the Imperial
And what did that moment look like for you?
I kind of feel like I'm not really sure how it works in this world, but kind of feel like it's this, you know, kind of rugged, tough little rabbit girl who's quasi at that point sure of herself, but she knows that she wants to preserve the good that she knows is here. And it all I can think of is her like going to the admission office of Daytona State and saying, I'd like to go to the police academy, please.
I'll
In
take that.
Left Haven terms.
I'll take that, and I'll do you one better.
Okay.
We find a quasi young chrysanthemum, probably about 15 or 16, sitting in the office of a of the dean of what appears to be some kind of learning facility. She is in this office and she has been given a a sack of ice that she's holding up against her eye. She has got a black eye. She's got a cut across her mouth. She is bleeding and she looks beat half to death. But you look a hell of a lot better than the other guy. Um, as the dean walks in and sits down across from you, we see a beleaguered looking half elven man, probably a little schlubby. He's got this puffy little ascot tie and looks like he's self styling as this higher education, holier than thou, learned, scholarly individual, but is just about anything but. Sits down and says, "Well, Miss Cox, what the fuck?"
There's some things that you just can't let go.
Some things you can't let go. Well, I'll tell you what you can keep letting go. Class, these are your truancy reports for the last month. Anything you want to tell me about that? Look at those absences. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Do I know why I was absent? I'm sure I do.
Fighting. Sticking
Um,
up for people.
okay. Um, yeah, you can't walk by someone who's getting their ass kicked and not get in there and help.
Chrysanthemum, this isn't a storybook. Okay, there isn't a knight who comes by and slays a dragon and saves the princess. And if there was, it certainly isn't you. There are some people.
But there should be.
There should be. Yes, and in a perfect world there ought to be. But there isn't. This is not a perfect world. Miss Cox, I'm not here to have a philosophical discussion with you. I am here to get you back on track and ensure you graduate on time. If I see you in here again at the tail end of a fight, I'm going to have to send for a truant officer who's going to do God knows what with you, probably put you on a ride along with some creep from Lufthaven. Do you want that?
I don't know, but I don't want to walk by and see these kids getting their butts kicked either.
Well, I don't want to see you in here ever again. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right, I need you to sign this and then go back to class.
All right.
And you go back to class, and not more than 2 days later, you are in fact back in that office, in the same goddamn place, having the same goddamn talk, and he lets you off again. And then a couple days later, back in that same office, having the same fucking talk, and he lets you off again, and so on and so on and so forth, before finally, you are in fact packed up and sent away with a truant officer, who is a very young Solomon Lamb. You are at this point 18, and Solomon Lamb is 26. And he is in a carriage as you drive from Brighthold down to Lufthaven, and you are between him and one of his deputies, and he is mushing along these horses as he talks to you, and he says, All right, now listen. It's nothing personal, but you're just gonna need to stick with one of us. Don't get in our way, and just kind of watch how we do things. As I understand it, you're in a bit of trouble back at school. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, the people you're gonna see here today are your future. If you don't, straighten up and fly right. You're, you know, I I heard a little bit about what trouble your brother got into, and I don't know. I don't see that for you. You seem all right. Just
You're a moron.
yeah. Well,
Mm.
we can't all be whiz kids. I got a brother too. He's dumb as a bag of rocks. Can't fix that. But all you can do is love him and be there when he needs it. I guess. I was a bit like
I
you.
guess.
I was a bit like you when I was a kid. Yeah, I couldn't abide bullies. Yeah, I got in trouble too for
I hate it.
beating them up. Yeah, yeah, I hate it. It's just not right. But
Especially when it's the little kids. It's just not right.
yeah, but there's a time and there's a place, and there's a way that we sort of do things, and maybe if you stick around, you'll see the way we do things, and it might be better. You know, I don't know.
Anything's better than sitting in his office.
Yeah, he seems like a prick. And much as the horse is long, I don't think it's much long after that Solomon Lamb becomes marshal. He gets to literally go into a room with Empress Bernadette Grimaldi and swear on the tome of the day that he will uphold the laws of Vrent, he will forward Vrent's, mission, he will fight back the evil and bring the light to everyone's life, and goes on this great long thing. And when you see that in the papers, how does that make Chrysanthemum feel?
When she, will they say the words that he said?
Yes,
That
they'll have the
he's,
Kree in there for sure.
okay. And she just kind of gets this feeling in her chest that it's that's where I need to be. That's what I need to do. That kind of protecting the little guy and promoting the good. Because that's really what she wants to do, even though she's kicking people's asses.
And I think it's not much longer after that than you head to Brighthold and you put in your resume to become a marshal. And you're not accepted right away, of course. You've got to be a beat cop over in Lufthaven for a couple of years. But you go there and you kick some ass. And as you become a marshal, and as Solomon Lamb later would become the whole sheriff of Rent, how does Chrysanthemum feel now that she is given this power and has this invested in her by the state, has this authority?
It's so when she's stepping in and fighting and kicking this kid's ass because he's kicking someone else's ass or getting into a fight to protect some little guy, um, she kind of feels like she's a badass, but she's a badass for a good reason. And having this given to her now or entrusted to her now is very humbling. Um, she realizes that she has the power now to change someone's future, to take someone's livelihood, or, I can arrest you and put you in jail, therefore you can't work, therefore you can't feed your family. It's a great responsibility, and she takes it very seriously. And it's very humbling that she's given this. She almost feels like it's a job, it's a
A vocation.
responsibility. It is, but it's also an honor, and she tries not to forget that.
As you have actually seen Bernadette Grimaldi. You are one of the few people in Eain who has seen with your two eyes the Empress. She is a tall, high elven figure with a silver hand who is ephemerally gorgeous. But these eyes that look at you are the same eyes you see looking back at you in the mirror. Eyes that cannot abide a bully. Eyes that would rather leave everything just to not be in the presence of somebody who annoys me. That sense of pride, that sense of ego, but that sense of conviction that I know what's right and I will do anything to prove that I am right. You see those same eyes
And
as you stare at the screen.
if I have a choice, I will choose to do what's right because it's the right thing to do, even if no one is watching.
Yes, correct. You see that in Grimaldi as well. I want to make that clear. And as you sort of get back in line, you feel a little fist pound against your shoulder, and you turn over and see Solomon Lamb give you a little from the side. And that's what we're going to call that. Okay, Chrysanthemum and Obscura. I need both of you guys to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Starting strong. Alright. That is a 19.
19, okay.
I'm rolling my golden dice. 15 plus 3, 18.
18. 18 and 19, great. Both of you guys are hanging on to consciousness. You are both sitting in chairs opposite one another with one hand unbound. There is a table between you, and there is a small light bulb above you that is coming down, that you can see each other in the darkness. Obscura, your mask has been taken off. Do you look any different now to how you once did?
Um, a little less, like, malnourished and anything. Hair is much shorter than it was. It's well cut, kind of kept mostly up top. It's slicked back any sort of like length it might have. Um, my eyes have a much there's a sense of conviction there. Where I was kind of aimless before and was kind of finding my place. I carry myself like I'm always headed somewhere. I always look like I know what I want to happen, even in this strange, precarious situation.
You awake, both of you, having known the vision that you saw in one another's minds. And there is almost a quiet moment between you before you hear in the darkness to one side, I'll say, someone clear their throat. You
Can we see that person?
You can't see it.
Do I know where are they in relation to us?
Make a perception check.
Or just on the side, on the side of the room? Get 3.
It was a short noise.
I knew I should have rolled the real dice.
And it was over.
I'll retort, you did so well with the bottle, but your grand entrance could certainly use some work.
You hear thump, 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 thump as someone's footfalls come closer. A figure steps into the light that is wearing a long brown coat, who has the collar turned up. They're wearing a hood beneath the coat, and you see that their face is bandaged. Beneath the face bandages, you can see blisters and sores, open sores on what is dry and mottled, infected skin. And two very yellow, jaundiced eyes look at you severely through these bandages.
Sure.
I
Is
would
it Baldwin?
ask. It's not Baldwin. The figure goes,
Okay.
I would ask that you shut your mouth if you know what's good for you. Good. Turns to Chrysanthemum. Hello, Marshall. You found me. Am I everything you hoped I'd be?
Oh, fuck me. Is it the Skinner?
Do you say that out loud?
I might, yeah. Are you the Skinner?
Ding, 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 ding. You win. Don't you feel like a winner? I honestly, truly didn't think you'd fall for that. And yet, here you are. Sad. I had thought, for just a second, that I might have found somebody who understood, who got it. But I see now that I was mistaken.
Who got what?
Who got what I was going for. Who understood what it all meant.
Killing dozens of people? Like, how many people did he kill? Like 60 people in 2 months or
60
something?
plus people, yeah.
66 people over 4 months. See, I can take it.
Mm?
What's killing? What reason could there possibly be? What could that possibly mean?
People. Those aren't people anymore. It's meat. I thought you understood. I
Are
thought you
you
got that.
are are you feeding someone with them?
Am I feeding someone?
What,
No, where is your vision? Where is your vision? I thought you understood.
my vision doesn't lead to 66 dead people.
They're not people. They are swine. They are parasites. But that's okay. You didn't get it before. Maybe you'll get it now. Reaches into his coat and he pulls out a knife. Sticks it into the wood of the
Oh,
table.
Jesus.
I think we ought to play a game. Don't you? A little palate cleanser. Something to sort of just get the noggin jogging. Pick up that knife. Pick up the knife. Please.
All right, I'll pick it up.
You yank a butcher knife out of the table and you're now holding it. I need a pound of flesh.
Hold out your arm.
Aren't you full of jokes? No, not from me. I paid. I paid. You see that? I paid what was due, and then some. And I kept paying, and I kept giving, but nothing changed.
Giving to whom?
To your masters. To the people you serve. To the Empress, and the Order, and her cronies. I gave everything. And what do I have to show for it? Nothing. So why don't you give a little bit too? Now you can give,
I'm not giving.
or you can take. And he points to Obscura. But when you hold the knife, you decide. Does that make sense?
I'm just gonna stick the knife back into the table. Oh hell, he's rolling a dice.
What's your armor class?
15.
Yeah, he hits you.
Fuck me.
Hold on a second while I roll damage.
Stop picking up so many dice.
You take 16 points of piercing damage as he picks up the knife and stabs you in the chest. Are you still conscious?
Okay. Yes.
He stabs you in, I'll say, the right side of your chest. Thunk! I don't think you understand, Marshall. That was not a question. You have a choice. But not playing? We're past that. You lost that chance. So we can do this an easy way. And he drives the knife a little deeper. Or we can choose it the hard way. And as he yanks out the
Isn't
knife,
this the hard way already?
you're going to take the bleeding condition of 1d6. At the start of every one of your turns, you're going to take a d6 of bleeding damage. And you will continue to take that damage until you are healed. Or have your other hand free to staunch the bleeding.
Yeah, I can see this. There's like a light bulb. I can see this going
Yes.
across. I will very subtly, kind of give Chris a look, and I am going to. 1 second. I'm sorry. Increase. Sorry for mechanical questions. Increasing hit points is not equivalent to being healed, correct?
It depends on the nature of the spell. If you have something like Aid, because it heals, I would say it also would heal. It would staunch the
Okay.
bleeding because it increases your max by 5 and adds 5 onto it. But something like, for instance, like False Life, I would not count that as healing because that's temp HP.
Sure. So I'll take the opportunity to cast aid
Okay,
using a subtle spell on both me and her.
great. So Chrysanthemum, your hit point max raises by 5, and you increase 5 hit points. And so for you as well, Obscura.
So from 28, I'm gonna jump to 33 max.
Max, correct. And then you also get the 5 hit points that is accompanied with that.
Okay.
And you,
So then I can hit 5 and heal.
yes, and you did burn a subtle spell, right?
Correct.
Okay, good choice. The
So now
Skinner,
is that gonna stop me from this bleeding?
yes, you are no longer bleeding.
Okay.
The Skinner sticks the knife back at the table and says, "Maybe you'd be more understanding, Thespian. What do you say? Surely you've read about my exploits in the papers. What's your thought? Something needlessly artistic, I'd say."
Needlessly artistic, sure. It's a little too. It's not quite my style, I'll say.
No, and what is
Right.
your style?
Why, I'd want a lot more people to see. Gotta be a little more creative. In the dead of night, mysterious killer. It doesn't quite, strike me the way that, your art, really should.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
This is this jam.
That is a 20. Dirty 20.
Skinner rolled higher on his insight check. He sees that you're trying to provoke him a little bit and goes, "I need to be more brazen, huh? Is that it?"
Just a little
He
bit.
turns over, walks into the darkness, and you hear click click as another light shines on the far wall of the room. You realize now that you're in sort of this slanted kind of attic room, like a loft attic almost. And he's going over to a table. He opens a folder and has his back to you right now. Is there anything you guys want to do while his back is to you?
His back is to us
Can I
right
grab
now.
the knife and cut my other hand free?
You can if you like. Make a
I would
sleight
like-
of hand check and do so with disadvantage.
Can
Skinner beat that on perception, so he comes back with the manila envelope to see you trying to cut yourself free. Grabs the knife out of your hand, cuts you across the face really quick. He's not going to do any sneak attack damage on this, but he's just going to roll to hit you. That's a 17.
Oh yeah.
You take 6 points of slashing. as he just rakes it right across your face, and then puts the knife back into his jacket pocket. He's now returned with the manila envelope, sets it down on the table, and says, "What about this?" And he shows you a picture of the fountain at the center of Brighthold with a skinned, flayed body in the statue's arms. What about this? Hmm? Not brazen enough, no? Hmm? Okay. What about this? And he shows you a picture, the same picture that Chrysanthemum saw, of a flayed open body, a female, on a bed with what looks to be a dwarven man holding two children close to him and covering their eyes. And he says, "That's the sheriff. That's his wife. Is that not brazen enough? How much further would you like me to go, huh?"
I'd like to take a moment to explain to you the difference between static and kinetic art. What you've shown me is nothing more but gruesome visages of things that once were.
Hmm.
No regard for the artist. You were nowhere to be found. The fact that I'm only seeing you just now means that there's an entire stage that you're abandoning, and frankly, I think you're wasting a lot of people, wasting a lot of life here.
Your silver tongue has got you out of a lot of sticky situations, I'll warrant. What do you say I cut it out?
I'll look at him and I'll say something along the lines of, "Oh man. See, the thing you need to know about magicians is they always have a trick up their sleeve. I'm much more than my silver tongue." And I will subtle spell cast Misty Step behind him.
Okay. Give me just a moment. Subtle spell.
Oh crap, here come the dice.
Now give me just one moment. Now that is interesting.
Subtle spell 24 taking away VS and M.
That is
Yeah.
correct. Because he had counterspell, cocked, locked, and ready to rock.
Yeah.
You cast Misty Step, slip out of your binds, and you teleport, I assume, 30 feet directly behind him? Or you want to be directly behind him?
I can I actually switch my destination to be behind Chris?
Yeah, for sure. But you'll still
Yep.
be in the light.
Oh man, I'm not leaving. Yeah, I'm not leaving you to die. It's gonna be behind Chris.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's your bonus
And-
action.
that's my bonus action, and my main action will be unbinding Chris.
Okay, go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check as well. You are doing this under duress, but since you have both of your hands free, this will not be a disadvantage. DC on it is a 15.
Yeah, that's a dirty 20.
You reach down, and I will say just pull the underside of the knot that Chrysanthemum couldn't quite get to, and yank out this whole slip knot. Now you both are free.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we doing this for real? Doing this, or do we just want to have a talk? You see a moment that you can kick off this combat because it doesn't look like the Skinner is going to try and fight you right this second.
I think we're just trying to run. I think
Want to run?
this is a GTFO angle, yeah. So we see that we're in an attic kind of space, right?
That's correct.
Do I see any details? Windows, doors?
There is a door on the far side. It would appear to be locked, and you can make a perception check further if you'd like. It is
Sure.
wooden lattices that are put up in an archway rather.
6.
6 perception. You don't see a window. That doesn't mean there's not one here. It just means that it might be covered or shuttered. But the room is simply too dark to tell. You get the sense that this might be some sort of magical darkness. That only these lights, as they're turned on, are able to penetrate the darkness.
Yeah.
You think that this is a further obfuscation of Grinner magic, which might tell you about your true location. But the Skinner just kind of sits and watches this.
Sure.
If I hop up to my feet, kind of beside Obscura, is there anything that I can see
You're
in
you're,
the room that
you're
might
welcome
help
to make a
us?
perception check as well.
5.
5. You also see the same thing. There's a door on the far
I
wall
see
that the
jack
that the
shit.
Skinner is standing kind of between you both, between him and the door, and beyond that, past this darkness, you really can't tell. There might be a window in here. You don't know.
I'll use this time. The Skinner's just like looking at us.
Yeah, sitting there looking at you. It's been about 4 seconds, so
Sure, enough time though.
Can I
enough time that he could have, but
can I
it's not
just
become awkward.
do I still have my gun?
You pat yourself down. Your
Or
gun is
has
not
that been
on you.
removed?
Your gun is not
Same
on
thing
you.
with daggers for me.
No weapons on your person at this time.
Right, right. Um,
Okay, the Skinner will talk.
I'm gonna give him a sideways. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a sideways look. Like since he's not reacting in the plenty of time we've had at this point to do that.
Interesting. I would have thought you'd make for the door.
Right.
Something you want to say or hear? You
There's
expect?
something with the door, isn't there?
No, it's a door. He walks over and opens it, and you see a staircase leading down. You're not being kept here. But Marshall, if you expect me to go quietly, you're in for something else.
I don't expect you to do anything quietly.
Now you get it. Now you see. Go on. You want to leave, leave. This was just a wake-up call for you. To let you know that I am watching you as much as you are watching me.
I'll start approaching the door. I'm gonna try and walk in front of Chris, like to keep some kind of physical barrier between the two.
As you get close to the Skinner, ah! I was just fucking with you. See you, Marshall.
I just laughed at him.
Maybe you're funnier than I thought.
As you guys turn and look down the staircase, you hear a ka-chunk. Turn back, and the shutters of a window have opened, and the panes have broken as the Skinner has assumingly jumped out of a window.
Are we still in this attic room?
Still in the attic.
Or we're just
As he jumps out of the window, the magical darkness goes with him, and the room is lit up once more by just these 2 light bulbs.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Chris for a moment and kind of say like, so this is the first time that you've met this man.
yes. I've been watching his work for a while, but this is the first face to face.
I could say something vaguely similar about watching his work for a while, but does nothing about that strike you as strange?
That he's here face to face.
That and many other things. He just lets us go.
Yeah, I don't get it.
We need to be careful.
I agree.
And I'm
We
gonna
need to
kind of lead her down the
not-
stairs. Like I'll be in front, like, cause you're not looking very good,
So
right?
looking-
Like you're looking pretty.
yeah, I'm at half hit points. 16.
So you're
If
bloody.
we look
okay.
around that room before we head down the stairs, do we see our stuff?
Yep, I wasn't gonna let you leave without it. There is a duffel bag in the corner tucked under the table that you couldn't see with the magical darkness, but now you do see. It's got your revolver and a bunch of Obscura's daggers and all of your weapons. You open
Yeah,
you open hopscotch.
hopscotch.
You open Hopscotch's
Go ahead.
chamber, and there is a paper note that is tucked into the cylinder in place of a bullet.
Oh, jeez. So what does it say?
You pull it out, and you open it and it says, "Goodbye, Marshall."
Hey, fucker. Motherfucker.
So as you pull this out of the cylinder for your revolver, I'll like take out my beautiful like red and gold ornamented deck and kind of flip through each card, keeping mental counts. Is there anything weird about the cards in my deck?
No, I wouldn't say so. Doesn't look like your deck was fucked with. It seems. Both of you go ahead and make me an insight check. Chrysanthemum, you may actually do this with advantage. This taps into your nativity.
7.
7. Okay.
16.
16. Obscura, you are confused by this. This was an odd encounter, to say the least. The fact that he got you here, the fact that he was just kind of playing with you, the fact he let you go, the fact he scared you. It seems like a person who is just kind of fucking with you. Chrysanthemum, what he said to you is precisely the truth. I just wanted to let you know that I am watching you as close as you're watching me. Now you know that wherever you go, whatever you do, being alone is not a good idea. Because being alone is when he's going to try and snatch you up. And maybe next time he won't be so nice. Maybe next time he won't want to just talk.
He
Also,
didn't just talk, he stabbed me in the chest.
also off this insight, you get the sense that you might have misunderstood him. People have
Okay.
thought that what he was going for was some sort of artistic installation. It does not read that way anymore, now having talked to him. The way he spoke to Obscura, he called what he was going to say as like needlessly artistic and over the top. What he's doing, you think might just be simpler than that. He might just be equalizing the wealthy. As in, I take off all of your robes, I take off all your gold, I take off all your silks, I take off all your skin. What's left? What are you at the end of the day? As
Just like the poor people.
as an exhibition of identity rather than an exhibition of any artistic merit. So you're thinking that this might be a class revolutionary as opposed to a artisan who is, striking back at the world.
Did you say class revolutionary?
That's what you're thinking, yeah.
Okay. You just went warbly there for a second.
Yeah. So that's all you get off that. As you guys sort of come down the stairs and come out of the Loft Haven Opry, you guys were up in the crawl space above the actual theater. Is there anyone you want to see before you leave the theater?
I've actually replaced my mask at this point.
Yeah, you put it back
like
on.
to make that. Yeah. Just want to make that clear.
Yep, didn't figure you'd leave without it.
I don't think that there is anyone else that Obscura would want to talk to.
Okay. As you guys head down from Left Haven out of the Cog District, you hear a bunch of scuffle. You hear a big crowd of people yelling, of people shouting. And in the distance, as it's getting closer to dawn, you see a bunch of torches lit up. And you see Lucius as he is being hanged from a light post. People are actively in the process of, there's a rope around his neck, they are pulling him up and trying to hang him.
Okay, so it's like a really raucous kind of like everyone's freaking out.
Yep, there are people who are freaking out, cut him down, cut him down. But there are a bunch of people there who are wearing those long brown coats with blue handprints all over them, who are the family of man. And they are not so defensive of Lucius.
Sure. Can I use this opportunity to like manually use my nativity to figure out how I could maybe incite a riot or
Sure.
start violence?
What skill would you like to do that with?
Could I please do that with would deception work?
Sure.
Like I'm trying to
Sure. Deception would work.
I'm trying to like wrongly assign like the starting of violence between a family of man member and then another person who
Sure.
Sure. And am I doing this with advantage because
Yes,
nativity reason?
you are.
Okay. That is a 21.
Interesting. How familiar would you say Obscura is with the family of man?
I live here,
Yep.
so I'm probably used to,
These people are new. They have not been in Lufthaven ever before in the amount of time that you've been here. People wearing these colors will pass through. Um, but more often than not, the people who are wearing the blue handprints, they're pawns in a bigger game. Meaning that enough fireworks, enough fluster, enough. If you make yourself big enough, big and scary enough, they're going to scatter like roaches with the lights on. It doesn't matter if one of them is in fact wearing a power suit. You get the sense that Lucius might have humbled somebody in the group, and to protect all of their egos and their name, they got him with his pants down and are now trying to kill him in front of everyone.
Yeah.
So if you just
How
make
far away
enough
from-
noise
How
and do
far
a
away are
success,
we from all of that?
I would say you guys are probably about 60 feet from them. They have not made you yet.
Man. Okay. Um.
I could shoot at the road.
Make it big and I can.
Actually, while you guys are considering plans, I'm going to go ahead and take like a 3 and go use the bathroom
Sure.
and take a bio break. We'll come right back to this moment.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, I gotta feed the dogs right too.
How are we gonna get out of this one?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to make a loud noise.
Ooh, I have command.
My first,
That'd be
my
nice.
knee-jerk reaction, if I don't know how we run alarm here, but like procking an audible loud bang alarm, right?
Uh,
Um,
ooh.
I feel
I
like
have
Chris
Thunderous
should
Smite. That
shoot at
has
the
a
rope.
thunder with 300 feet of range. That'd be kind of funny. But audible noise, I don't think I got anything, even if I was awake.
Because at 60 feet, Chris could try to shoot the rope, but I don't know.
I would still be unconscious.
Oh, that's right. The dude knocked you out with his metal arm.
Yeah, he just crit me into the face, so I'm unconscious right now. I don't know if Josh is gonna have me roll death saves here in a second, but if I poison.
I can't big. Like I don't have anything that changes size.
I mean, would Chris shooting the gun be loud enough to make a noise? Or like be a distraction?
I mean, it's a revolver. It makes a sound, but I don't know how loud in the grand scheme of things. Hey, you guys, you want some supper? Yeah.
How's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing?
Feeling like everything I do could either be awesome or a mistake.
Awesome or a mistake? Well, the
Perfect line.
quickest way to find out what you're
I know, that's like
doing is do something.
that's like my life right now. Awesome or a mistake? Awesome, we're gonna hang out with this fucking Skinner.
Mistake, they're hanging Lucius in the fucking town square.
So, I guess I'll ask you as a mechanics thing. As
Yeah,
far
man.
as alarm goes, we stick to vanilla rules, either handbell or mental ping, right?
Elaborate. You mean alarm the spell?
Yeah, alarm the spell. Like when it triggers, it can either be an audible handbell, or
Or like a ding in your
um,
mind?
right.
I don't know. Do you have any other way you want to do it? Are you
Um,
imagining like a klaxon?
I'm imagining like loud, like bang bang, like just a big,
Hmm.
loud, like subtle. So the idea
I would
here.
say, given that you're clockwork soul, you can make it into a machine sound, meaning that you can make it a mechanical klaxon alarm. You can make it like that, or you can make it a piston pounding. Because you're clockwork soul, I would imagine you can do that as flavor for sure.
Yeah, sure. What are the? Do I know the sound? I know the sounds of the mechanical armor that was being used to like.
Sure, I'd say you've probably seen those machines around Left Haven, yeah.
Okay. Not convinced. That's what I wanted. I'm so like at a
First order of business would probably be to get him down. We
yeah,
can worry
that's a
about
good
scaring
idea.
them off later.
Sure.
Can I
Um
get? Can I move to get within 40 feet of him?
Yeah, absolutely. You just want to draw and shoot?
What
can
do you
I
guys think?
I can just get him like I can just be there and like get him um I'm the family of men they
Like
don't what do I
catch him
know
before
in
they get
terms
him
of
all
their
the way up,
standing like
or
Too many questions. Too many questions. Let's start with
sorry,
your
sorry,
Skira
sorry.
first.
Yeah, they're not like when they act, they're not executing any like government legal actions. They're just like doing stuff. Like
No,
they're just committing hate crimes.
they are not a legal body. They operate under the orders of two people. One of them is Gora Yazo, the other is Vladimir Draven. Gora Yazo is considered to be their chieftain, who is the person in charge of the family of man. Vladimir Draven is their intelligence official, who tells them where to go, what strings to pull, why this is important, what you need to do when you get where. Goriazo just has the overarching vision and is consulted as the chieftain.
So how about this, Chris? Why don't you distract the family of man at the front, and I'll sneak behind and try to get him away.
okay.
I don't. If you don't like that, that's okay.
I don't know what I can do to distract them other than I could just dash up into the middle of it. What's my distance? What's my
You can
speed?
move up to 30 feet, draw your pistol, and shoot, and you'd be well within 40 to make the shot with hopscotch. You
Okay.
could do that all in one
And
turn.
I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna aim like into the air because I don't necessarily want to hit anybody, but also at the rope
You want to shoot the
to
rope.
see if I can. Yeah,
Okay, go ahead and make me an attack roll.
with hopscotch.
Yes, please.
20,
Dirty 20 or natural?
30.
Someone beat you on the natural 20. As you draw your pistol, before you pull the trigger, there is a gunshot, and the rope is cut. Lucius, at 0 hit points, fading in between conscious, unconscious, you fall to the ground. Please reduce your death saving throws by 1 failure because you took falling damage.
Add a fail.
Yes, you have failed 1 death saving throw because you took
Okay.
damage. You hear a second shot, bang bang, as a orc wearing a long black hat and a long black coat with a proud mustache and a big revolver walks into the crowd of the family of man and is talking with them in a very quiet tone.
Do we know who he is?
You know who he is. It's Tilson Lane.
Okay.
This will obscure off your nativity. This will not go well.
Yeah.
No world in which this
Um,
turns out well for Tilson.
I'll turn to Chris and say, "Officer, we need to get out of here right now."
I don't know what else is out there.
So do we have time with Teal'c talking to them that we can grab
You'd have
Lucius and drag him
you
off?
have to get in the mix. Teal'c is over Lucius right now. There's a circle around him of family of man members. You would have to get in the mix. Teal'c, as he's talking, leans down and is going to cast Cure Wounds on um, on our friend Lucius. Lucius, you keep that death saving throw failure. He's actually going to cast it at a third level. So that is. Hold on. Oh god, new Cure Wound rules. Hold on. He'll actually just do it at second because I don't feel like rolling that many dice. And I know you don't have that many hit points. Okay, 8, 10, 11, 18 plus 5. 18 and 5 is 23. You heal 23 hit points, but you keep one death saving throw failure.
Okay.
He
I
leads.
didn't know how much of that you wanted in there.
Teal'c Lane does not even touch you with his hand. He has his boot on you, and just and casts healing wound through his boot, and you are picked back up. Lucius, you are close enough to hear him as you come to consciousness in the middle of his conversation, and he says, "This will not happen again. You are not allowed in the city. You are parasites. You are fearmongers, and you hear shk, 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 as he's reloading his revolver. You are terrorists, and we don't deal well with terrorists. So this is your one chance to leave. You can choose to do it on your own 2 feet or in a pine box."
Do I see the guy that hit me, like in the mech armor?
Yeah, he's still in the mech armor, but the chassis is closed.
Okay.
With enough provocation, for instance, if Obscura would know that with enough provocation, clearly the guy in the mech suit is the ringleader of this group of peons, that he is the knight amid a group of pawns.
Okay.
But with enough, rah, look at me, he might be convinced to open the chassis, if to do nothing else than gloat. But if the 2 of you or the 3 of you don't intervene, Teal'c is going to be in big fucking trouble.
Yeah, I'll walk. So it's like big crowd of people, circle of family of man.
Yes.
Wilson and Lucius and yeah.
It's about the size of it.
So, I'll just walk up. I'm gonna rummage through the crowd, just like push my way to the front. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna shove a family of man member. I'm just gonna.
To the ground?
Yep.
Okay, make an athletics check. I'll give him disadvantage because you are coming from behind. It's a 19.
Can I actually true strike and do this?
Sure, I don't know what that does for you, but yeah, you're welcome to do that. I don't know what true strike does.
One attack with a weapon used by the spell's casting. It's not a weapon, so I can't do that.
You can cut him with a knife if you want. If you want to just go that route.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do like a non-lethal, or no, what? Yeah, I'm just gonna normal stab him.
I mean, you can hamstring him if you want. Just come back and cut the back of his leg. I count that as non-lethal.
Sure.
Or if you just want to stab him in his fucking kidneys, do that too. Whatever.
Yeah, that's a 23.
23? Yeah, you absolutely hit.
And true strike is
I think
daggers
adds
are
a-
1d4. Yeah.
I think adds a
A
D6
D6.
and dagger
Yeah.
is a D4. So roll the D4, add your dexterity, and then roll a D6 that's extra radiant.
So since it's true strike, it's actually charisma. I get to use charisma as my weapon attack.
Then do that. That's fantastic.
So that
go
is
ahead and-
an 8 on the piercing and a 2 on the radiant.
Okay, for 10 total.
Yep.
All of these family of man peons have 10 hit points exactly. So describe to me how you take this guy out. You can do it lethally or non-lethally.
Yeah. I'm going to walk up and honestly, it's just gonna be ruthless. Hand on the face, knife, slit his throat, and push his body to the side.
Okay, make an intimidation check and do so with advantage.
Yeah. That is a 23.
23. Do you say anything as you slit this guy's throat?
Does anyone else think that this is worth it?
Yeah, I'm thinking of something too, but yeah, it sounds worth it.
No. I'm saying like to them. Like, does anyone else think being
Oh,
here
Oh,
after
I thought you were
making this
asking
guy's
for the party's
No,
approval
yeah.
and your action. That's why I
I
said
This
thought
no.
is
that
like
too.
you
But
just
you-
watch me.
but you cut
take
this
that-
dude's
his
throat and yell,
out.
Does anyone else feel this is worth it?
Yeah.
Um, there is.
And Chris is going to just kind of hop up beside him with hopscotch and a dagger in her other hand.
Do you point it at anyone or just kind of at everyone to make sure whoever's moving?
Just kind of everyone in general.
The
Just kind of up behind obscure going, yeah, what he said.
Obscura, the message is received. Western Union, message received. A bunch of them kind of go wide as they realize there is a couple more threats than they had bargained for. They still outnumber you about 2 to 1,
Mm-hmm.
but the odds have changed. So now they're kind of weighing whether the odds are. Because of your nativity, I'll just flat out tell you, when people are deciding, that's when you're in trouble. Make the decision for them. Don't give them the
Okay.
chance to decide. So,
So
now
I'm
that
going
now
to
that you've
approach-
got them kind of wishy-washy, push your advantage.
Yeah, I'm gonna approach Lucius and remove him from the circle. Well, I say remove him, but like he's conscious, he's up,
Mhm.
and like take him, leave,
Great,
get out.
great. Make an athletics check.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't saying like pick him up, but like retrieve him, like go to him and be like, it's time to go.
I just want to see how well you do this, because you're
Yeah.
still putting on a face.
Yeah, sure. That is going to be a strength is 0. That's just gonna be a 14.
Great, as long as you beat 10. Yeah, you Lucius to his feet, throw your back out a little bit, and you push him out of the circle, but you still keep your scary face. And you have made the decision for them. You see a couple of man members backing off, and the chassis opens. You see a guy there or a lady rather, who has her nose all busted up and kind of cockeyed from where Lucius, you remember, you smashed that woman's head in the
Yeah.
table. This is that same girl.
Oh, dude,
And she is now in
from the bar.
a police equipped power suit.
But she's not a police person. She's
No.
just in a police.
No.
Okay.
And you see Tealson points the gun at her and shoots her right in the head.
Oh.
That is, let me pull up Tealson's sheet here. That is a 15 to hit, which definitely does hit the family of man. He is also going to cast True Strike.
Awesome.
So that is a D8. So 5 and 2 for 6, plus this, plus another 9. Yes, that beats 10. He shoots her right between the eyes, and she dies, and the whole suit falls directly forward. And he goes, well, that was police property. I'm pretty much, fine with that. Does anybody else want to not go home to see their kids? Anybody? And the family of man has kind of now lost their morale and scatters. Well done. The three of you are kind of picked up and brushed off, and you now have an opportunity to talk with Tealson Lane as he looks over this police issue. Chrysanthemum, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the information about this piece of equipment. This is a later installation of the Blunderclod of a smaller and more compact model. So the Blunderclod was a huge machine, so it took up a 3x3 space on a board. This takes up a 2x2 space. So it's about 10 feet tall. It has these big power arms that are completely smooth. People call it the ram, or a battering ram, because its arms are literally just designed as a boom, I punch the door open, and people can move in behind me. It is a bulldozer for all intents and purposes. Police officers use this in raids to hunker down and give the officers behind it cover, or to punch through a doorway. It is just tall and wide enough that when it moves in a normal hallway, it can about fill the space and nothing can be targeted through it. It looks as if the family of man have stolen this from either a motor depot or from a on-duty cop and have managed to kill the person inside of it. So the fate of whether or not this thing was piloted and the officer potentially within it. That's unknown. But they have stolen a piece of equipment, of police equipment. So they've stolen a RAM exosuit. Tilson is down, kind of looking at it, and goes, "Fuck me. This is going to be a lot of paperwork."
I'll kind of greet him first. I'll say hello. Seems that we share some similar traits. Like we just murdered, a person.
I wouldn't call that murder.
You wouldn't call that murder?
For legal reasons, I wouldn't call that murder.
So you're acting in the interests of the state. You are associated with a legal entity.
He opens his coat and shows you a marshal badge.
It seems I'm in good company.
Opens his other coat, opens the other side of his coat, and shows you an inspector badge, which means he's an inspector marshal. Which marshals are given a lot of sort of leeway. They're given a big long leash and say, as long as you're kind of doing the right thing, you can pretty much go wherever you want, do whatever you want, as long as you uphold the law and you're on call when we need you. Meaning that if Chrysanthemum is hailed and says, "We need you in Brighthold immediately," she has to be on the next train to Brighthold. But as an inspector, Tilson Lane is not beholden to that rule. He is a detective. He gets to the bottom of a mystery. Which means that he is on essentially no leash. He is a field range police officer, or what do they call it? Free range. He's a free range police officer.
He's Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, he is Sherlock Holmes. He works with the police officers. He did in fact swear the oath to Empress Bernadette Grimaldi, but where Chrysanthemum is on a really long leash, he's on none at all. So he is pretty much beholden to nobody.
So with crossed arms, I'll kind of look at him, I'll look at it, and I'll be like, "So you slit that man's throat over there, yes?"
I sure did.
That's wonderful news.
Absolutely. Can I have the knife?
I'll hand him the knife.
Gorgeous. Thank you. Yes, this is my knife. And drops it.
Wonderful.
Okay, well, Marshall, it's good to see you. How are things?
Things are.
You look like shit.
Are we? Thanks. Feel like it too.
He's going to reach out with his finger and cast Cure Wounds on you.
Oh, God bless you.
Oh my god. That's really, really good. You heal 25.
Oh shit.
You know that Tilson Lane is a cleric. And heals you for...
So he put me back. I'm full.
Yep, at max. He heals you for 25. Just kind of points a finger at you and goes with a little finger gun. And that big gash on your face where the skinner just kind of hacked at your face stitches shut by itself. There you go. Looking a lot better.
Thanks.
Sorry, you were saying?
Are there people still around us, or is everybody kind of scattered and it's just us few?
There's a crowd, but the family of man have made themselves scarce.
I could use a drink.
Are you on the clock?
Maybe we can find a little quiet. I'm always on the clock. You know that. Clock, what's clock?
You look tired, Marshall.
I could use a drink and some rest. But I gotta talk to you about something first.
You want to talk to me?
Yeah.
Why don't you meet me back at the precinct? I got a bottle of the good stuff on my desk.
Okay.
What about your friends here? They coming too?
Yeah.
All right, here. Reaches into his knapsack, opens it, and writes out what looks to be something on like a checkbook kind of thing. Rips it off, hands one to Obscura, writes the same, and rips one off and hands it to Lucius. These are passes. In the name of Empress Bernadette Grimaldi, as signed by Tilson J. Lane, you now have opportunity to move without interference through the upper cities of Lefthaven, through the Cog District in between. So you now have a pass that will allow you to get past the workers' strike in and out of the Cog District. He says, just go ahead and keep that on your person. Anytime you sort of get any static, just present that. Any law-abiding body will have to abide or will shoot them. That's kind of how things have been going here. It's turned into the Wild West around here. I don't really like it very much, but, do what you gotta do. So, how about you, sir? Are you doing well? Looks down at Lucius.
Yes, thanks for the save.
Absolutely. Sorry you've had to go through
Oh,
that.
it's. Thank you.
You got into some trouble with those family fucks?
Yeah, they really have it out for us.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to see you made it through the exterminata. It's not easy. He says, not knowing that you, in fact, did not. Um, and goes, all right, well, I'm going to take a walk back to the precinct. You guys are welcome to join me if you want. Um, come on, and I got to write up this police report anyways. It's going to take me a million years. He
All right.
reaches
Yeah,
into
we'll
his
go with him.
pocket, pulls out a setting stone, and sends out a brief police code that there was a RAM exosuit. We need pickup and disposal. 2 Vicks on scene. This, that, and the other, and then concludes his message and puts it back in his pocket. And then you guys walk to the police station. The Lufthaven police station is much, much bigger than the Coute Rouge police station. The Coute Rouge police station was basically just a bullpen with some holding cells in the back and a big reinforced holding cell beneath if they caught somebody who was really impressive or just needed a lot of extra security. For instance, Katya Cleaver. She was put underneath the cells of Coute Rouge to be transported to Leviathan. This is much different. It is a 3-story building that has a lot of security on the ground level. Then the second floor is like records, and the third floor is the actual bullpen. You guys are taken up to the third floor in an elevator, which is something that I don't think a lot of you have ever been in before, at least in a D&D setting. It is a all 4 of you can probably fit. I'd say on a battle map, it is in fact a 2x2 space. So all 4 of you can probably fit. It's a snug fit, and Tealson kind of brings the things together and pushes the button, and it starts a very slow, rickety ride up. Every round in combat, every 6 seconds, it will move from one floor to the next. So the whole of the ride is probably about 12 seconds long. And as you guys are riding up, Tealson says, do any of you smoke?
I don't partake.
Okay, well, I have some cigars if you change your mind. Hits the top floor, and he opens it, and you see chaos. It looks almost like a Wall Street trading floor. There is a bunch of people shouting. There are people being walked through in handcuffs. There are a couple people who are sitting in chairs waiting to have their information taken. One person tries to stand up, and another person shoves him back down to the seat. It is chaos in here. Tealson takes you over to a small little temp desk, which is what marshals are given when they come to visit to a specific precinct. It's the same kind of desk that they gave Chrysanthemum at the Coute Rouge precinct. His looks to be a little bit nicer, and it looks like he's been here a while. There's a lot of bulletins and arrows and red tape. It kind of looks like just a lunatic sat here and is making these crazy jumps and leaps and logic.
Any figures I'd recognize among the pins and dots?
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Yeah, love to. That is a 13.
A 13. You, in fact, see Chick Chucklesby. There is an open manila folder that has Chick Chucklesby's photo in it. There is a brief rundown of a bunch of crimes he's been committed in. A couple of them were highway murders. He walks in and sees you looking at it and shuts the manila folder. Sits down at the desk and says, I've only got the one chair, so you guys can feel free to join me or not. I don't really care. Reaches in and pulls out a bottle of Elverquist and sets it down on the table for you, Chrysanthemum. So, what, you're not going to drink?
You first.
Me first?
You first.
I don't drink on the job.
And I pull the bottle out of my little backpack and spunk it down and tilt it so he can see the hole in the cork.
Let's go ahead and make a
It's gonna be a while.
Let's make an
It's gonna,
investigation
it's
check
gonna
for
be a
him.
while. Gonna be a while before I
I'm
trust ElderQuest line
I'm gonna
again.
let you know something about Tealson Lane. He rolled a 13 on his dice for a 24. So that tells you how much he adds to investigation. He goes,
Mm.
poisoned, huh? Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Left Haven Opry. Yeah, I read about this. So I guess you were going here tracking down leads of your own, right? Still looking for that Skinner guy, huh?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. And so I kind of glanced around. Is there anybody close that would overhear
Nobody's listening. There's too
the
much going on here for
conversation?
anybody
All
to
right,
listen into your conversation.
cool. So I'm gonna move a couple folders off the corner of his desk so I can hop up and sit there. So I'm like
About eye level with him.
eye level to him, and I'm gonna fill him in on the whole theater obscura and me with the Skinner
Tilson's eyes
encounter.
kind of go wide at that, and he goes, "Wow." He opens the clean bottle of Elverquist and drinks from it. Mm. Damn sorry tale.
And I'm gonna take a swig out of it. Thought you didn't drink on the job.
Hearing that, yeah, I need a drink. This fucking
It
town.
was some shit.
Well, I'm happy
It
you
was
made
some
it out.
shit. You and me.
Can you can you talk with a sketch artist?
Yeah?
I say we get this guy's face plastered everywhere. And he came after Lamb's wife. I mean, I told you, the guy needs to hang.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
we
get
were.
I'll get you set up with a sketch artist before you leave, and it'll just be quick. Okay.
Yeah, and Obscura got enough of a good look of him between the two of us. I'm sure we could come up with.
How shaken up is Chrysanthemum visibly, do you think?
I mean, she's not crying or anything, but she's definitely rattled.
Uh, he
The
just rolled
whole the whole
he just
encounter
rolled a
rattled.
29 on his insight, so he's gonna reach into the top drawer of his desk and slide a LDN number to you. Now that lady, I tell you, she works wonders. If it wasn't for her, I would have shot myself a long fucking time ago. You get me? This job takes it out on all of us, and every answer that you find won't be at the bottom of a bottle. Take my word for her. Give her a ring, okay?
Yeah,
Okay. And you see a name that
he's
says
gonna set me up with a therapist.
Juniper Maslow. Okay. So,
Therapist at large.
and it's a police number. You see, this is a police reference sort of talk therapist. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So, as for you two gentlemen, you sir in the mask, um, typically we don't allow people to have face coverings in the police precinct, but if I have to abide by every rule in this place, I never get anything done, so I figure I'll just let that one slide by the wayside. Just do me a favor, alright? Just keep your head down if you're gonna be slitting people's throats in the street. Try and do so without so much gravitas. Do you get me?
A task easier said than done for me.
Try.
You know, just for you, I will.
Thanks. And you, big man over there. And he points to Lucius. Sorry about your stretch of bad luck with the family. If you need anything from me, I hope you won't hesitate to call on me.
Oh, I won't. Those bastards will get what's coming to them.
I'm sure sooner rather than later. Just be aware, both of you gentlemen, vigilantism is a crime, so I would do well to have your papers on you and to be able to produce them at a moment's notice. Okay?
Absolutely.
Advice.
And I trust that's all we have to say on the subject. Was there anything else, Marshall?
No, I just wanted to let you know about that, and Make
good.
sure you keep that in the back of your mind.
Oh, it won't be anywhere near the back of my mind. If I know he's here in Lufthaven, I'll make sure that I've got every able-bodied trooper out here looking for him. He won't get far. You're a good egg.
And we'll head to see the sketch artist.
All right.
Keep your fucking head down.
You too, Marshall. Stay safe out there. And he's going to continue writing this thesis of a police report. Um, you guys sit down with a sketch artist. Go ahead and make me a, let's just call this a straight wisdom check, if you would please, both you and Obscura. Total on this will have to be a 25.
Yeah, 17.
17 and
10.
10 for
10.
a 27. Absolutely. You guys provide enough accurate details that they create a really accurate composite sketch of what the Skinner looked like. And this young man turns around and says, "Is this about what we thought looking?"
Yep.
Okay, great. I'll send this off to the boys upstairs. Thanks so much for stopping by. Is there anything else you'll be needing, Marshall, from our records department?
No thanks.
He puts it in a
No
brass
thanks.
tube
We'll,
and puts it in a big chute, and it shoots upstairs. All right.
that's so cool.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we got to get you one in Brighthold, right?
Yeah.
Proprietary tech. The Hammer designed this herself.
Gotta get a bunch of stuff in Brighthold.
Mm-hmm. Well, phone a call down to the Hammer and phone some favors, and I'm sure that Inspector Marshall Lane would love to help you out with that.
Yeah. Brighthold Police Department, I could ball up something and throw it and hit the guy that I'm sending it to. So
Very well, Marshall. You have a wonderful evening, okay? And as you walk out and see a bunch of people clocking out of the overnight shift, the sun is rising. And you have gone what is essentially now a full 48 hours without any sleep. I assume you guys are all feeling pretty fucking dog tired. So, where are we going to?
believe
Yeah.
so.
Where are we going to for sleep? There are some pretty nice hotels here in the Cog district, but Obscura's apartment is actually in the Cog district as well.
Will you
Yeah,
have a couch?
I'd offer. Yeah, I'd offer everyone a stay in my apartment.
Great. You are led to a pretty large apartment building, literally on the border of the Cog district and the Smokestack Row. So where the wall is, that wall's off the Cog district. This is literally probably not even 20 steps past that wall.
Oh, wow.
You walk in and are led up this very long, slow elevator to the 19th floor out of 20. And as you enter in, what does Obscura's apartment look like?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. Baubles, things that just little artistic pieces, sheets of sheet music, like absolutely everywhere, like an entire library of like hands, like scrawled music, supplies for maintaining the instruments, stuff like that. I'd say that how big are apartments, and the like how big would the apartment be?
It depends on how much you were willing to spend every month on rent.
Sure.
Middle of the road, above average,
A little above average.
a little above average. This is probably a 2,000 square foot apartment.
Okay, yeah.
Quite nice.
I, as we walk in, I say everything's open to you. There's one room that I'm very like careful, like don't go in there. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't, please. Lots of weird contemporary art. You get the feeling maybe like he painted some of this himself.
A couple commissions from other Grinner friends you have.
Absolutely,
You
yeah.
see
Gifts.
you see one big full wall spread of a self portrait of Vantablue.
Okay. Women's jewelry, maybe, like in strange places
Yeah,
that you'd
sure.
find. It's just kind of a strange place. It's like you enter like an art museum, but like of someone who's like not like giving it like big showcases. It's just like the saturated environment that you live in,
Like
and
I
some
feel like he's
that's
got all these prisms hanging in his window just to catch the rainbows.
yeah. It really is just like there's just a bunch of stuff everywhere. It's like very maximalist, like thrown together,
mhm.
like all kinds of stuff
So
everywhere.
like somebody robbed like the Louvre and just had their
Right.
apartment cluttered with a bunch of shit they found, and in addition to these semi-priceless artifacts.
Exactly.
Very very nice. Do you own a record player of any kind?
I absolutely would.
There is a record that is on there, and it is currently going. You did not leave that on there.
Would I recognize the piece being played?
Yes. Actually, go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw. In fact,
Interesting. Oh. Okay.
we'll call
Yeah.
this a charisma saving throw.
A charisma saving
Yes,
throw.
please.
Well, still an at one.
You do not recognize the tune.
Interesting.
Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. And that is where we're going to close today's session.
I hate
How
him so
fun.
much.
You guys may all take a
Have
long
fun.
rest. You guys may all take a long rest and heal back to
Oh.
max.
Holy moly.
Gosh. Wasn't
Okay.
expecting to get crit in the first 2 minutes.
I also was not
Gosh.
expecting you to get crit in the
Gosh.
first 2 minutes. Sorry about that, buddy.
It happens, man.
Damn
I
compelling
do it.
stuff, though.
Yeah. No, that was awesome. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan.
Okay, so let's all
I hate him. I hate him so much.
woosah, come down a little bit. Let's debrief. What do we think?
I think I talk about murder really interestingly.
I think
Get
so
away
as
with it.
well. I think so as well. You have
Yeah.
a very interesting perspective on that.
I'd like to imagine like what other people are doing, because it's kind of just been like us three. Like
I assume when
Aaron
we
got
get
taken.
I assume when we get to the 24th, there will be a time when I'm like, all right, everybody who was not here for that, what are we doing throughout the night? And we'll have a little sort of catch ahead until this morning.
I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting that like it seems to have kind of worked. That like us had this like we had this interaction, and all just ended up back at Obscure's apartment, and you know feels pretty natural, which I like.
I agree. It did end up feeling pretty natural. I kind of had a good time doing it with just the 3 4 of you guys. That was nice.
I can
Yeah,
only
and Chris
imagine like
is
being. Sorry.
that's okay. I'm just he's one step ahead of us everywhere we go.
I'm imagining like being in your guys' shoes and having gone through like what you just gone through. You almost got hanged, like you just got slashed up like by your Giga Arch Nemesis, and you just go into this weird guy's house, and it's like really weird, like really really weird. And you're like, I don't know if I should be here. And then there's a record player telling you run rabbit run. I feel like it's you have a lot of causes for concern at the moment.
A lot of irons
Yeah,
in the
Chris is
fire.
Chris is in an FML state for sure.
hmm But I
And
enjoyed
Brosif's
I enjoyed the flashback moment. I did not anticipate all three of you to be unconscious, but it kind of worked out well, I would say. I
Yeah.
figured that they would just kind of rough Lucius up a little bit. I didn't picture that all three of you would be unconscious straight away, but it really did work out well.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like
What are you doing?
Chick Chucklesby. I'm gonna have to
hmm
keep an eye on that.
Well, it's been a long time since those days.
Sure.
Chick has kind of fallen off the radar.
Yeah.
Holga the Immense was kind of a smaller player in those days and has come up in the
You
ranks to
alright
sort of
out
fill
there?
that power vacuum since Chick, for lack of a better phrase, went rogue.
Hmm.
But Vanderblue is still very much a player in
What
the
are you
greater
doing?
circle.
I'm playing D&D.
And everything's still kind of working out. But yeah, definitely some questions for Chick.
For sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was
She's not.
I always have a fun time with.
I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear that. I hope everybody had a good time. Even
Yeah.
Lucius, even though you
Yeah.
were
Oh
dead
yeah.
for a majority of the session.
I mean, hearing the Draconia stuff was pretty awesome. Hearing about Aurorian and like talking to Talbot about wanting me to find this spy and finding it and then kind of usurping the throne from his two true heirs. But
From his little kids.
it's like
No,
he
you gotta
asked
see it
me, I
that
couldn't
way.
say no.
It's true. Can't say no.
I gotta tell you, I'm a
Yeah.
sucker for dragons. Man, I love dragons.
Dragons are tight shit. I agree. And when we started talking about Lucius's character, and he was like, "I want to be a dragonborn king," I was like, "Well, if I got the fucking plot line for you, because I was just gonna use this for somebody else. I was just gonna use this for a dude out there in the fucking wilderness. But if you want this, fucking take it."
Yeah,
And we had
that's
talked
so
about
cool.
like
Oh, yes.
being an old man, being this man, like literally and figuratively out of time. Um, and like in so many ways does the phrase "out of time" nail what Lucius is about.
Yeah.
Because
Like
he's
I appreciate the like call to new technology of like there's this machine and you don't know what the fuck that is. I'm like,
yep.
yep, Lucius has no clue what that is.
And people being like, "Do you know what an LDN is?" And people not understanding that like you didn't live through the exterminata because of course they wouldn't know this fucking incredulous thing that happened to you.
No.
I feel like it's interesting. I feel like the viewpoint that Lucius has on people and in the world as a person is very interesting. I would like
And
to
I
see
think
that
that
taken.
this moment specifically of like understanding the current state of the world and all this discrimination has also affected him. Like he almost got hanged just because he was a golden dragon who didn't like what someone said
Hmm.
or who was being just rude. So I'm curious how I'll do that in the future. Very interesting.
It is interesting, and I think from Draconia's standpoint, as a magocracy, as a magic first society, where Dragonborn were literally graded at their closeness to dragons, as in people who were commoners were people who were Dragonborn but didn't have like tails or wings. These people weren't of a highborn status. So a highborn dragonborn would have wings, tail, maybe even could breathe fire on the regular without having to like focus or try and do it. They could just do it at will. So the difference between
That's so cool.
yeah, I mean the difference between Draconia as a society and Eain, where it's like if you're not human, elf, or dwarf, I can just fucking kill you if I want to, and kind of no one can do anything about it. Is a very different feel, and I wonder how Lucius is acclimating to that. Something we're thinking about.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I did not picture the interaction with the Skinner going quite that way, but that is more or less what I had planned for. I was like, they're not going to take this lying down. I'm sure not. But this is just a message. Um, I think the Skinner just wants somebody who's willing to play his game with him. Like a almost like a Red John. Red
Red
John.
John.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, like a Red John kind of
Okay.
thing. Of like, I just want somebody who's willing to follow along and give me the respect and adulation that I think I deserve. Somebody who's willing to really put in the legwork.
For
Right.
sure.
Put in the steps to figure out what my next step is and see if you can beat
See
me
if you
at
can
it.
beat me there. Yeah.
Hmm.
The really interesting thing, I think this is also a lesson in Subtle Spell 2024 because the material components used to still be required so that if you were in a situation where you were bound, you like
Like I can't reach in my
still had
pocket
to,
and pull out a diamond to revive him.
or if you don't have your, yeah, exactly, right.
Mm-hmm.
It really kind of interesting how that works,
And
but
from my standpoint, I don't really care about material components unless the spell says it consumes it.
for sure.
And then it's like, I don't care if you really have the diamond, but do you have the money? Like, if
Mm,
you don't have the money to even cast Revivify, I'm probably not gonna let you cast it. But if you don't have the diamond, fucking scratch off 500 gold and we'll call it quits.
Yeah, in a different campaign I'm playing an alchemist artificer.
Love
where
Artificer. Go to pick.
Artif-
Paracelsus is
it's-
an alchemist artificer.
Oh, yeah, those things are broken, by the way.
Yeah, busted. Incredible. That's why I made her. That's why I made her relatively low level.
Yeah, because once you get Flash of Genius at level 7, you just start doing like really crazy, stupid things.
Yeah, and your
his
like elixirs and shit are just fucking busted. Like I can make an elixir that'll make me fly, or I have a fucking homunculus servant that can touch somebody and cast inflict wounds.
Yeah, the really interesting thing about oh my god, I lost it. Alchemist artificers are like the one that I made. I think you can kind of go bonkers with like how their spellcasting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like mine was the inventor of this like weird, like awkward potion where you can like sprinkle in the components of other spells and drink it, and that's how he casts spells.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
sort of
converting the awkward substance into a new potion.
Like a base magica almost, that you can sprinkle in the necessary components and that's the spell, because it's just a base for other magic. That's really interesting.
Right, and
like
it's
that.
also really cool because he's dragon marked and can cast like latent magic and is secret about his dragon mark. So you can be you didn't notice him do that.
I loved the marked shit. I loved the marked shit that we had a conversation about.
Fan.
Big fan. I like the House Cannith stuff too. House Cannith is making an appearance.
Oh, that's so fun.
Because
we're currently killing those guys in the different.
Well, House Cannith extricated the Master Makers, people who combined the metal with the flesh. They were like, "That's a huge sin. That's against our bylaws. You know, get busy packing or get busy dying." And I think House Cannith is very interesting, and them in my world are very different to how they're portrayed, like in the fucking
normal Eberron,
whatever Eberron. That's what I was gonna say. Faerun, Eberron. That's what it was. I sort of think of them as a guild of artificers. Artificers are very interesting to me because they represent so vastly different crafts that I think when they meet, it's like, oh, you study weird esoteric shit too. Awesome.
Right.
I'm a fucking theoretical physicist. You're a super magical chemist. Let's just talk shop. Like the Venn diagram overlap is fucking that big. But because we're both esoterica, we have to respect one another, and there's no one else in our fields, so let's just compare notes.
I think the really great thing about them is that the
Exactly.
portrayal of like commerce. Like anytime you talk about like money and making things that make money and doing big world-changing stuff, it's like it's artificers. Like always, they're just like making the stuff so they can make it accessible to the goobers who don't have magic in their veins or spent their whole life like studying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Artificers in this world, I think, are not by default magic. They are engineers. We have reached a point in the history of this world where technology has advanced enough to where, in the right context, it is in fact indistinguishable from magic. So Fletcher casting Cure Wounds looks like him pulling out a fucking soldering iron and welding somebody's wound shut. Yeah, it's barbaric, but does it not do the exact same fucking thing mechanically? Sure.
Right.
And I think that's really interesting that from Campaign 1, which is like, I have a big, giant, ugly mech suit that I made out of scraps in a cave, to now, where it's like, my prosthetic is in fact so much better than my normal arm that I have two of them so I can get the same amount of function. I don't know, I think it's awesome.
It is really cool.
I'm interested to see where Fletcher's arc goes in that respect.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting stuff. There's a lot of interplay throughout. Like, I'm trying to stay as conscious as I can of law figures, like knowing like who is the law and who isn't, because that's like kind of critical here. Because on what I knew when I'm walking up to that guy to slit his throat, it's like I'm like committing like a super crime.
Mm-hmm. I'm killing someone in broad daylight, in front of a cop, in front of
Right
two
in front of
cops.
two marshals.
Yeah.
But it was a measured risk. I knew at least one of them was a cop. Which was Chris. So I kind of had to just try my best to hedge my bets that I can like save him and also maybe not get smote.
Yeah, Teal'c is an interesting figure for a lot of reasons. Um, because he is a very staunch rule follower, he is like, yes, rule of law, absolutely. We have to do what's right and just. Put into a city that is, for lack of a better term, gang warfare. It is the Wild West. Um, so to have this person who's like, yeah, I'm used to following every single rule in the book, but if I did that, I'd never get any work done. I'd never fucking do anything. I'd never actually be out there actually doing anything. So
Right.
why the fuck would I? Yeah, but Tilson's great.
And he needs to stay safe.
Yeah, I think so.
Just saying. He's my bound.
Yes, Tilson is one of Chrysanthemum's bound. But Obscura has not discovered any of his bound yet.
Not a one.
And that's okay. We'll get there.
I'm excited.
And why does Nick look
Yeah.
so happy about
I think you will be excited. I think you will be very excited.
I'm excited because I think if one of my bound is Aurorian, then that means he's still out there, right?
Yes, means he's still alive.
It's so cool.
Now, as a true
I can't
dragon,
think
God fucking knows what shape he's in 1,000, 1,100 years later. You know,
But he's doing something, though.
he's still alive. We just don't know in what shape he's in or where he's at. But he's still alive and is still very important.
That'll be sick.
Very sick.
Uniting chromatic and metallic dragons, coolest thing ever, by the way.
Yes. He was the first and only.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
That was
I'd love to learn.
that was
What was
part that was part of the reason why Draconia was the sickest fucking city ever. Because this
Right.
was pre-Calamity, Age of Arcana, magic flowed like water. Everybody was like, oh shit, check out this cool fucking magic I got. Nobody
Yeah.
gave a fuck. Versus now, in the present day, when the Primigenian Order is like, if your magic is not divine or natural, keep that shit to yourself. I don't want to fucking see it. Whereas in Lufthaven, you know, we got bigger fucking things to worry about than someone casting a couple of magic spells. But that's why Draconia was the fucking top dog. Was because not only do we have this army of extremely powerful Ravenites who were like martial badasses, and the actual Draconians who were insanely well practiced wizards and sorcerers and alchemists and what have you. We also had at our backs a legion of fucking dragons, drakes, wyverns, serpents, you fucking name it. Anything that can fly, we kind of got on lock. So, Draconia was the one to beat.
So, what is Lucius's class and subclass?
Lucius is a... Well, I will actually let Lucius take
Paladin.
this over if you like.
A Paladin, Oath of Vengeance.
Ooh.
Paladin.
Oath of Vengeance.
Yeah.
So haven't lead into much of that yet, but I'm assuming we'll get there.
And also,
Yeah.
also, I had a question for Chrysanthemum. This was very much a big conclusion to your arc. I feel as if now would be a perfectly justifiable place for you to advocate for a level up.
I think we deserve it.
Well, it's not a we.
I think we've worked hard.
It's not a we.
I think Chris kept her cool
Yes.
in the face of, oh my lord, what happened to my character sheet. Yeah, I think she kept her cool,
I agree. I think Chris did.
and I was very proud of her.
I think Chris did a remarkable job, and if you would like to, I think you are more than welcome to level up at this time. So congratulations, Chris. You have
I don't
reached
know how to-
level 4. If you go to your
I don't know
sheet,
how to do that.
if you go to your sheet
DNVR.
and press Manage right
It's-
next to your character name, there should be a Manage
being-
Character and Levels.
It's being an absolute bitch right now.
Okay, then I will walk you through that at a later date.
Okay.
But you are more than welcome to level up if you so choose.
I
And
do.
if anyone else present here would like to argue their case as well, you may. But I feel as if this was a big, satisfying uh, bookend to this particular arc of who is the Skinner, what's he about. Ah, I finally put a face to a name. Now I know what this guy looks like.
Yeah, I won't. I'm not gonna advocate for. Like, I'm useful, but like I'm just kind of doing my thing.
Okay.
I got kind of beat up that this session,
Well,
so I don't know.
there's something to that as well of realizing how out of your element you are. I think that that's a good. I think that there is a case for both of you here if you are willing to make it. Obscura realizing, that sometimes I really don't know what to do. Because I think there was very real hesitation in both Nick and Obscura of this person is not the person I thought he was, especially in the attic with the Skinner, of realizing, is he going to attack me? Why hasn't he done anything yet? Sort of being caught on the back foot. Um, I think that that is interesting. And for Lucius as well, being fucking dogpiled by these people that you had figured, oh, I broke her nose and that's it. I just beat up a bully, and realizing that, hey, maybe these bullies are not quite as pushoverable as I may have thought. That's a learning moment too. Learning moments don't have to be positive. It doesn't have to be I conducted myself well. It has to be I learned a lesson. I learned a lesson. I put something together. Um, and even if that is, I am vastly out of my element. I am way too old to be fighting all these young people. Sometimes I really don't know what the fuck I'm doing. As long as you guys are willing to make an argument of a lesson your character learned and how it's changed them, then I say advocate for yourselves. But if you guys don't feel
I
like you've
will
hit that
note-
this session, that's okay.
I will note that Chris did see my face,
Absolutely.
which is not a small deal,
Not a small deal.
and I'm still kind of parsing how. Oh, I mean, so did Lucius in my past, right? But like,
Yes, but that's different than seeing it today. That's seeing
Sure.
me before I put on the mask. I wasn't who I was. I wasn't who I was before I put on the mask.
yeah, I think
Right,
I
did
think
Chris
both
also
Obscura
today?
and I are
Mhm.
parsing.
Today.
Like,
And it's
maybe at the
and it's honestly I have more I have more respect for the restraint of I put the option in front of some players and they jump at the chance. Oh, I want to level up right now. I want to have the cool abilities now. But I love the restraint I see in both of your faces of have I as a character really learned this lesson yet? Was there anything that my character would actually take away from this? And I love seeing the thinking faces that are happening on the two squares below me.
yeah, I think I'm gonna hold off for now.
Okay. And you, Emmett?
I have a thought of like the being hung basically as a learning moment
Oh,
in
hanged.
like being hanged. Yes. Um,
I'll be
'cause
hung for this. Well,
as-
hanged.
um, because I would bet as a king, like I to get to my kingship, I killed somebody. Like I got that person hanged.
Yep.
And
Draconia used the executioner's axe to behead someone
Executioner's axe.
because that is one of the easiest ways to protect against revivify. Because I can revive you, but I can't restore a body part. Meaning, if I kill Chrysanthemum and cut her hand off, when I revive her, that hand won't reattach. She'll have a stump. So if I cut your fucking head off,
Okay.
nothing can come back. So you would send people to the executioner. But yeah, that's the same concept.
Executioner.
That now you're on the back end of it. How did it feel like
On the
for
back end
you?
of it. Yes.
Mhm.
Like, and then being unconscious and like coming out on the other side of that, because
Mhm.
that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like,
And-
do you get
or,
put to the axe?
or historically for kings, it
rope?
happened once. I mean,
Yeah.
it did happen, just not to you. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a good lesson to learn of like, oh, my violence really does have a consequence. All these people that I've put to the executioner's axe, well, how did they feel at the very end? Were they scared the same way I was scared? And now that I am this paladin of vengeance, is using fear as a weapon a moral good? Is it a good thing, or do I have to be judicious where I use that fear? Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Lucius is not proficient in persuasion, but instead proficient in intimidation. Is that right?
Yes.
So I think that would be a good lesson for your character to learn as well. When fear is appropriate to use, and when it's best to try a softer touch. Go ahead, Nick.
I was blocking the light to see if it did anything. It really looked like a hand raise.
Yeah,
Crazy. Sorry.
it really didn't do anything for the light adjustment. Sorry, bud.
Yeah. Oh,
No, I do have proficiency. It says paladin features, core paladin traits, persuasion, athletics. Well, I don't know where I'd find proficiency.
So go to your main character sheet where you see your skills tab. Anything that has a black
Yeah.
dot next to it, you are proficient in.
I'm proficient in intimidation and persuasion.
Okay. So then there you go. But learning to be judicious about which skill to use and when to use it, I think, is also an important uh, lesson to learn. I mean, you at the guards, you could have very easily rolled to intimidate and did not. You chose to try and persuade.
Yeah.
But I think with the family of man, you bashing her head into the table taught you that a forward choice does have consequences on the back end. That's an important
Yeah,
lesson for you
because.
to learn as well.
Hmm.
But I'm not trying to
And
prompt
that
you into say plead your case in this direction. I'm giving you guys food for thought and saying this was a moment that I think it would do well for your character to ruminate on. This moment what I found particularly striking because of this character choice made a couple of sessions ago. Just something worth thinking about as you guys open up your characters
Yeah.
and look back on the choices that you've made both in your backstory and through actual play. Find the directions where your character is able to make forward or backwards growth. And I use the
Okay.
term backwards growth not as sort of an antonym or sort of an oxymoronic thing. I do think of backwards growth as being an actual term that I am reverting to an earlier stage of my personhood to solve a difficult problem. So, for instance, I'm playing a Forge Cleric that right now is this very big, very angry old man, much like Lucius, who is learning at 47 years old that violence is not the answer to every single problem that he has. But in a situation where peace does not work, he does have backward growth where he will react with extremely effective, aggressive, instantaneous violence. So, something worth thinking about.
Mhm.
But you guys find those moments where your character, what events have happened that shape your character as they are. But I think you guys are doing fucking fantastic work on that already. Um, so there you go.
thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. You guys are great. Um, anything else before you guys are dismissed?
No,
I think
because
I'm good.
yeah, I gotta get up early tomorrow.
Alrighty. I love you guys very much. Mwah. Thanks for coming out to
Love
another
you
good
very
session.
much. Yes.
Love
And
y'all.
we'll see you guys next time.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No worries. Bye.
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 Josh, I got you something.
What'd you get me? Oh!